Narcissist realizes they have lost to you. Here's how they react. Salutations, everyone. It's truly delightful to welcome you back to our gathering. Today, we embark on a captivating journey deep into the recesses of the human psyche, with a keen focus on the pivotal moment when a narcissist grapples with the stark reality of their loss. Take a moment to let the gravity of this revelation sink in. Should you find yourself resonating with our expedition, we warmly invite you to express your support by engaging with our content. Leave a like, subscribe to our channel, and generously share our insights with your circle. Furthermore, for those seeking a more immersive exploration into the intricate realm of narcissism, be sure not to overlook our complimentary course, Narcissism 101. Unveiling the red flags, charting your course to liberation, and cultivating a revitalized existence. Be sure to peruse the description for access to this invaluable resource. Now, let us plunge into the profound repercussions that unfold when a narcissist is confronted with the daunting prospect of losing it all. In simpler terms, the narcissist eventually comes to terms with the stark reality that they've forfeited something invaluable, you. This epiphany strikes them with force, prompting them to peer beyond the confines of a single failed relationship. They begin to grasp the extent of the havoc they've wreaked on all their interpersonal connections, owing to their self-centered demeanor. Narcissists are adept at manipulating and inflicting harm upon others, often without even realizing the magnitude of their actions. They weave webs of deceit and sow seeds of discord, leaving a trail of chaos in their wake. While this may not have been apparent during the initial stages of your involvement, the picture is now coming into sharper focus. When the narcissist confronts their own downfall, a torrent of regret and sorrow floods their consciousness. They come to the sobering realization that they're not omnipotent beings but merely ordinary individuals, subject to the same vulnerabilities as everyone else. In moments of introspection, they cast a backward glance at the wreckage they've wrought, ruining the missed opportunities, the lives they've tarnished, and the facade they've maintained. It's only then that the stark truth dawns upon them. A life built on deceit and manipulation leads inexorably to isolation and desolation. For those who've borne the brunt of a narcissist's cruelty, the road to recovery resembles an arduous odyssey, fraught with trials and tribulations. It demands unwavering fortitude and unwavering resolve to confront each painful recollection head-on. Yet, with steadfast determination, one can gradually retrace their steps back to selfhood, wresting back the autonomy that the narcissist so callously usurped. Amidst the journey toward healing, the question of forgiveness often looms large. Can one find it in themselves to pardon the narcissist for the anguish they've inflicted? However, before the prospect of forgiveness can even be entertained, there lies a Herculean task ahead. Breaking free from the bonds of trauma, reconstructing one's social fabric, and perhaps even embarking on a fresh start in unfamiliar terrain are all integral facets of this transformative process. But let's not be beguiled. Extending forgiveness to a narcissist is akin to expecting swine to take wing. These Machiavellian schemers insinuate themselves into your life, ensnaring you in a labyrinth of despair and leaving a trail of shattered souls in their wake. Had you only been privy to their true nature from the outset, you would have barred the door against their pernicious influence. Narcissists thrive on inflicting anguish, leaving devastation in their wake as they flit from one victim to the next. They are acutely aware of the havoc they wreak, yet they persist in their destructive ways. However, inevitably, the consequences of their actions catch up with them, compelling them to confront the grim reality of their deeds. It's undeniably gratifying to witness karma catching up to narcissists, though when you're ensnared in their intricate web of manipulation, such satisfaction may elude you. You may have harbored hopes of them acknowledging their wrongdoing and granting you closure, but let's be honest, narcissists harbor no concern for anyone beyond themselves. When severing ties with a narcissist, anticipate no swift departure on their part. They resemble vultures, biding their time for the opportune moment to discard you when you're most vulnerable. It's their customary modus operandi, perpetually scouting for fresh prey to satiate their insatiable needs. However, resist falling prey to their artifice. At times, a narcissist may wax nostalgic about the shared moments of bliss, but it's all a ploy to maintain their grip on you. In their eyes, you're merely a means to inflate their ego, a glistening trophy to flaunt. For those navigating a divorce with a narcissistic partner, brace yourself for a protracted and agonizing ordeal. They're keenly aware of your worth. They regard you as the epitome of affection, empathy, and adoration, everything necessary for them to feel significant. They won't relinquish their hold easily, prolonging the divorce proceedings to maintain their dominance over you. I don't intend to unsettle you, but it's imperative to grasp the stark reality of dealing with narcissists. They possess an uncanny knack for sapping your vitality and pilfering years of your life, all without you even realizing it. Let's dissect this. When you part ways with a narcissist, they're acutely aware of what they're forfeiting. They grasp precisely the void left in their lives by your absence. Prior to and following you, they had a string of comparisons, always assessing their options. But what you contributed was distinct, irreplaceable. You were their anchor, the steadfast presence in tumultuous times. You stood steadfast, investing in the relationship, while they viewed it as a means to exploit you. They remained oblivious to love, kindness, or stability. To them, you were merely a tool, a conduit for their self-serving desires. Now, post-relationship, guess who comes knocking? Bingo, the narcissist. Ever heard of hoovering? It's their ploy to pull you back into their toxic orbit. Perhaps they lack alternatives or crave more of what you offered, your unwavering support, your emotional availability. You fueled their fragile ego. They recognized how you buoyed their self-esteem, aided them financially, and lent an ear, no questions asked. So, when they attempt to ensnare you once more, remember, it's all a ruse to entangle you in their game of manipulation and torment. They hunger for another dose of control over you, employing any means to ensnare you. It's grim, but regrettably, it's their playbook. Let's be honest, will a narcissist ever reflect and acknowledge their missteps? They may glimpse back and lament their loss. But admitting fault? Unlikely. In their view, they perpetually occupy the superior pedestal, devoid of blame. Seriously, how many times did they genuinely apologize? How often did you witness authentic remorse, not just a facade? They made promises of change, pleaded for another chance, but it was all hollow promises. In the end, you invested your heart and soul into the relationship, and they callously devoured it, leaving you with nothing but emptiness. Listen closely. In the beginning, everything raced at breakneck speed because they needed to ensnare you in their manipulative web. But as time wore on, their responses dwindled, leaving you bewildered. Did they lose interest? Find someone new? It's anyone's guess. What's crystal clear is that if a relationship seems too flawless, it's likely a trap. Once they had you firmly in their grasp, they commenced playing mind games. They possessed an uncanny knack for manipulation, and you fell prey to it time and again. Within moments, you were glued to your phone, eagerly awaiting their messages. Yet, over time, those messages became infrequent, and when they did reply, it was with minimal effort. It felt as though they couldn't be bothered. Meanwhile, they were cozying up to others, pouring their hearts out, while you received only half-hearted responses. Why were you left with mere crumbs while others received the entire feast? The answer is simple: they had already set their sights on their next conquest. They're perpetuating the cycle, just as they did with you, and it won't cease until you break free or they discard you. Sooner or later, the narcissist will come to realize the extent of their losses. Their toxic behavior poisons relationships with their own children, business associates, and acquaintances. People catch on to their schemes and cease extending invitations, and those purported lifelong friends? Don't be deceived by the years. They're likely being utilized by the narcissist to maintain appearances or fulfill their own selfish desires. But the facade can't last forever. Sooner or later, it crumbles, and people begin to glimpse the true colors beneath. They leave a trail of shattered relationships in their wake. Sooner or later, it's just their modus operandi. Ever pondered why some individuals fail to see through a narcissist's charade? Well, there are a couple of explanations. Perhaps they do perceive it but opt to remain silent to avoid becoming the next victim. Or maybe they simply don't spend enough time in the narcissist's company to uncover the truth. It's as straightforward as that. The bulk of the abuse occurs when you're alone with the narcissist, whether in the car or at home. That's when their true nature emerges, and they transform into a complete nightmare. But in public? Oh, they're all smiles and charm, desperate to maintain their illusion as the epitome of perfection. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, they unleash all manner of abuse upon you, emotional, spiritual, financial, you name it. Yet deep down, they're aware they've lost you. They'll never admit it, though. They're too busy convincing themselves they're superior to everyone else. They understood your worth, yet they treated you with disdain. But guess what? You're stronger now than ever before. You emerged from the ashes like a boss, shining brighter and more resilient than ever. Now it's game over for the narcissist. While they're out there wreaking havoc on unsuspecting victims, you're living your best life. Deep down, they'll come to realize their colossal blunder. Because that's exactly what it was. They let go of someone truly remarkable. So hold your head high, stay true to yourself, and never doubt your worth. You've got this, and you're not alone. Let the journey to healing commence, my friend.
Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving deep into the aftermath of dealing with a narcissist. Ever wondered what goes through their minds when you're finally done with their antics? Stick around because I've got all the answers for you in this video. Let's get into it. I've been itching to tackle this topic for quite some time now. There's a lot to unpack here. So what happens when the narcissist realizes that you're no longer playing their game? That's precisely what we're delving into today. First off, let's talk about the moment when the narcissist finally clocks that you're out of their grasp. It's like a sigh of relief, isn't it? You've hit your breaking point, and it's exactly where you need to be. You've reached that tipping point where you bid farewell to manipulation and manipulation-induced guilt. You're awakening to the truth, though the trauma bond may linger. You've come to terms with the fact that this individual isn't serving your best interests. Maintaining that toxic dynamic is simply out of the question. It's a wrap. You've realized that your mental, emotional, and physical well-being are far too precious to be jeopardized by anyone else's toxic presence. Your understanding has evolved, almost like a growth spurt of awareness. Getting to this point is no small feat. It's incredibly tough to let go of someone you've loved and deeply connected with, especially when narcissists have this magnetic allure about them. But hey, pat yourself on the back because you've tackled the toughest part. Deciding to walk away from this cycle shows that you value yourself, as you rightly should. You're breaking free from this vicious cycle once and for all. Many of us grapple with this realization, wondering why we didn't make our exit sooner. Yet, breaking away from such individuals is no easy feat, as they persistently tug at the energetic strings, craving your attention and forgiveness. The intricate dance of returning to a narcissist. It's a maze of emotions and rationalizations. On the surface, slipping back into their grasp may seem like a breeze, initially filling you with a sense of euphoria. You might even entertain the notion that things will somehow be different this time around. If luck is on your side, those initial weeks or months might even be sprinkled with moments of joy, convincing you that you've made the right call. The narcissist, with their silver tongue and mastery of manipulation, will artfully weave rational arguments whenever you entertain thoughts of returning. Their gaslighting prowess is unmatched, painting a picture where every word they utter seems logical, every promise of change seems genuine, and the prospect of reuniting feels like a beacon of hope. But beware, this mindset makes the return journey all too enticing. It's as if the pain of the past has been conveniently wiped clean. In reality, though, you're merely lowering your standards out of fear, the fear of being alone, the fear of facing the unknown without them by your side. Now, pause and reflect on this pivotal moment. Is settling for less than you deserve truly aligned with your life's aspirations? Absolutely not. Your life is far too precious to be squandered on crumbs, especially from someone who has revealed their true colors time and time again. Realize that your existence transcends this toxic cycle. Entertaining the idea of returning may lead you right back to where you started. You owe it to yourself to stand firm in your decision not to look back. Perhaps, over time, you've noticed a recurring pattern with each return, a familiar tale of heartache and disappointment. It's natural to try to rationalize these experiences, to make sense of the chaos. Yet, grasping the complexities of such a toxic relationship is no easy feat. It's akin to unraveling a labyrinth of despair. But here's the silver lining. The narcissist entered your life for a reason, not to tether you indefinitely, but to impart lessons and foster growth. Through your struggles with them, you've emerged stronger, wiser. Recognizing that their presence was merely a chapter in your journey, not the entire story, is a pivotal step toward reclaiming your power and forging ahead, however arduous the path may seem. Beware the allure of returning to a situation or relationship with hopes of change. It often leads to disappointment rather than progress. These familiar patterns tap into childhood wounds, drawing you back with a false sense of comfort and belonging. Initially, returning may feel like slipping into a well-worn sweater, but soon enough, the reality of toxicity and destruction sets in. Those who inflict pain tend to continue doing so, perpetuating a stagnant cycle that stifles growth and evolution. They remain entrenched in their ways, impervious to the prospect of positive change, despite any glimmers of hope or belief. Their promises of transformation are but illusions, designed to lure you back into their web of manipulation. Yet, this cycle inevitably repeats, leaving things unchanged. Narcissists grapple with the loss of a reliable source when you bid them farewell and refuse to return. To them, your value lies not in your presence, but in the attention and resources you provide. A one-sided connection built on taking rather than giving. They may momentarily mimic reciprocity to ensnare you once more, but such behavior is fleeting and does not reflect their true nature. It's admirable to break free from the clutches of a narcissist, but be wary, they will relentlessly attempt to reel you back in. They'll shower you with promises, sweet words, and grand gestures, but their actions rarely align with genuine change. Understanding their relentless pursuit to reintegrate you is crucial. They seldom reflect on their actions or learn from their mistakes, trapped in a limited perspective. When they sense your withdrawal, they'll stop at nothing to regain control, resorting to any means necessary to win you back. The allure of returning can be irresistible. When someone you care about showers you with attention, it's natural to feel drawn back to them. Their focus on you may create a sense of validation and importance, tempting you to believe that rekindling the connection will offer closure or a fresh start. You might even think that seeking answers from them will aid in your healing process. But engaging with them for closure or answers is perilous. It's likely to ensnare you once again in their orbit, trapping you in the same vicious cycle you were trying to escape. If left unchecked, This cycle can perpetuate indefinitely, making it increasingly challenging to break free. Beware that the comfort and empathy offered by narcissists may lead you back to square one. The pattern of seeking answers and being pulled back in only serves to delay the realization that moving forward without them is the healthiest choice. Narcissists perceive certain behaviors as necessary to reel someone back into their lives. They lack an understanding of genuine love and view relationships as transactions. They focus solely on how others can fulfill their needs and inflate their ego. While they may have other options available, they often perceive your presence as superior, making them hesitant to let go. Narcissists will go to great lengths to maintain their sense of contentment. However, their efforts to rekindle the relationship may vary depending on how it ended. If the breakup was tumultuous or contentious, they may opt for a more subdued approach to avoid humiliation or rejection. In such cases, they may choose to maintain distance and refrain from pursuing you aggressively. But remember, their absence may not be permanent. Narcissists engage in hoovering tactics, attempting to lure you back into the relationship after some time has passed, hoping that the distance has softened your resistance. They may actively pursue you immediately or bide their time before reinserting themselves into your life, depending on the circumstances of the breakup and their chances of winning you over again. It's important to recognize that their intentions are not rooted in love or genuine concern for your well-being, but rather in their desire to continue reaping the benefits of your presence. Understanding their motivations can empower you to make informed decisions about how to handle their attempts to rekindle the relationship, ensuring that you prioritize your own well-being. We must remain vigilant, as people, even narcissists, often deceive us in our interactions. Narcissists excel at telling us what we want to hear, weaving enticing lies that temporarily boost our egos and make us feel good. In such situations, discernment becomes paramount. We must carefully evaluate their words for authenticity, recognizing that what appears true on the surface may be nothing more than a carefully crafted facade designed to manipulate and control us. This begs the question: how many times are we willing to be ensnared in this cycle? How many times will we fall prey to their deceitful tactics? Are we prepared to invest our time and energy in trying to understand, heal, or change someone who may not truly care for us? Seeking closure from a habitual liar is an exercise in futility. Instead, we should focus on probing the underlying motives behind their deceitful behavior. What do they stand to gain from lying to us? Why do they resist or reject honesty? These are critical questions that can help us unravel the complexities of the relationship dynamics and safeguard our well-being. Narcissists naturally detest losing their emotional supply, and discovering this loss can unsettle them. In response, they typically adopt one of two strategies. Some may aggressively attempt to reclaim you, while others may opt to leave you alone, recognizing the futility of their efforts. This scenario underscores the importance of self-assurance and resilience. Understanding that the narcissist's manipulation has ended is crucial. Narcissists often struggle with attachment issues, making it difficult for them to let go. Driven by their need for control and validation, they may persist in trying to maintain the connection. It's imperative to stand firm and reject their advances. Recognizing the impact the narcissist had on your life and the lessons you've gleaned from the experience is key to moving forward. Understanding that their presence wasn't meant to be permanent can be empowering, signaling that the relationship served as a catalyst for personal growth rather than a lifelong commitment. I acknowledge that coming to terms with these realities can be challenging. However, acknowledging your resilience in overcoming a narcissistic relationship can bring a sense of peace. Remember, you possess inner strength surpassing that of the narcissist, and moving on was the right decision. Thank you for investing your time in watching this video. Your support is invaluable. If you found this information beneficial, please consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to our channel. Your engagement enables us to reach and assist more individuals facing similar challenges.